sensational blue skyline. And as you're going to see, blue is very much the colour of this week. It's about 5:20 in the morning and I've been awake since 3, struggling to sleep. I think work's quite stressful and that's caused a bit of lost sleep anyway, certainly tonight. I'm on my way to Swains Lane to undertake Ed's lactate shuffle workout, and it starts with a very big bang. More of that to come. Well, like a moth to a light, here I am at the bottom of the lane they call Swains to commence Ed's lactate shuffle workout. Basically, it comprises a progressive 9-minute warm-up ending in 3 minutes at 320 to 350 watts. Oh, not far off max effort, and of course Swains Lane is going to be perfect for just that. Then we have 5 minutes recovery before we enter 2 minutes of 300 to 320 watts, 2 minutes recovery, repeating that element 7 times. So looking forward to the workout and dreading it in equal measure. So starting with my best efforts time here on Swains Lane, Strava confirms 2 minutes 47 seconds, average power 369 watts, which is 5.9 watts a kilogram. So really happy with that, and definitely reckon I've got a 2 minutes 30 in me, especially if I kind of get my technique right, i.e. the gearing and the standing versus seated sections correct. Definitely a matter of technique on that as well. But that is an absolute chasm between the joint, that's correct, joint KOM holders, Thomas Arkle and Sammy B, with legitimate times, they are hill climbing experts, of 1 minute 53. And looking at Thomas Arkle's Strava data, that's about 8.4 watts a kilogram, I kid you not, 8.4 watts a kilogram over just under 2 minutes. Insane. Anyway, certainly a massive target to aim for. I don't think I'm ever going to get to that, but definitely next stage 2 minutes 30 for me. This is Gavin, virtual fist pump or whatever. Super strong rider.
Let's go and do a bit of riding. Be great.
Nice one. You take care.
All right, man. Yeah. See you soon. Yeah.
Cheers. Well, how nice is that, seeing Gavin Arbour? I've been following him on Strava, and he's a really strong rider. Masters Cat too, putting in some insane distance, but also power and speed. Looking forward to having a ride and probably getting dropped by him once the social distancing is behind us. So turning to the efforts themselves, the lactate shuffle efforts, pretty consistent. Averaged about 314 to 324 watts, which is around about, I guess, 105 to just under 110% of FTP. And on that final 7th repetition, where we added the extra minute, albeit I added about an extra minute and a half, the 3 minutes 30 there averaged about 324 watts, and definitely that final 90 seconds was all above, you know, 340, 350 watts. So very happy to have banked that training session. Now looking forward to getting home, having some breakfast, and having to get on with a bit more work. 7 AM Wednesday morning, a little bit later than normal for me, so I've got to get my skates on. And on the deck is going to be another Ed Laverat polarized training session called Race Starts. More of that to come. But ahead of that, I'm going to do an upper body training session outdoors because the weather's perfect. And it's going to be combining antagonistic muscle groups, that's opposing muscle groups. As always, the press up's going to be involved. But additionally, I found a place to undertake chin-ups to work the biceps and the back muscles, and that's important because I haven't really worked them for the last 8 weeks, and I reckon they'll have withered away. It'll be interesting to see just how badly my chin-up has deteriorated. And as always, the pre-workout regime comprises amino work capacity, the amino acids. I'm on sour apple flavour, away from my favoured dark cherry flavour, and also the cold coffee. So I've been combining the chin up and the press up. However, with the chin up, I've resorted to using these TRX ropes because I had been intending to grab onto the banisters to haul myself up, but I figured or worked out that I'd be actually ending up hitting my face into the wall towards the top of the movement. I have been trying to avoid using gym equipment because I know that people won't have TRX ropes and other stuff in their house. However, this is a compromise I'm having to make here. Hopefully you've got something else that you can grab onto. Now, as I touched on, with muscle and strength, it's a case of use it or lose it. I had been doing up to 14 paused chin-ups, as you've seen in the gym sessions before the lockdown, but over the last 8 weeks, this is what's happened. And it's been about 5 or 6 the whole way. Now straight into the push-up, because as I say, this is a superset. And it's a superset working opposing muscle groups. The chin-up is working the bicep and the back muscles. The push-up is going to work the chest and the triceps. And you can see here that I'm raising myself off the ground a little bit for the push-up. And by raising myself off the ground, I increase the range of motion. That makes the movement harder. So hopefully, when I come back to normal press-ups, it'll feel easier. As follows. And I've been combining basically 5 or 6 of the chin-ups, very little rest, 8 of the press-ups. And always on both the chin-up and the press-up, a pause at the bottom of a movement. And by pausing at the bottom, that takes out all of the kinetic energy and the rebound. And that means As you then initiate the concentric or upward part of the movement, you very much focus on the mind-muscle connection, i.e. making the muscles work that you want to work, but also you're having to generate more power to start the movement powerfully. Superset number 6. Getting progressively harder. And that's a tough little combination. Those supersets obviously minimize the rest between chin up and press up, and so that's quite tiring. But also, having not done the chin ups for a while makes it doubly tiring. Anyway, onto the bike. These are going to be tough. Welcome to Ed's race starts. I've had a progressive warm up, as you can see from the power chart, and now on the deck is 8 little intervals. Each interval comprises 30 seconds at 450 watts or more, i.e. 150% of FTP, straight into 1 minute at 285 to 300 watts, i.e. 95 to 100% of FTP. 3 minutes recovery, as I say, repeat 8 times. And it's meant to replicate a race start. Albeit, Ed, I've got a small refinement for you. I think it's a Zwift race start, because a lot of the crits I certainly take part in don't go out the gate at 450 watts. They end up doing that, not long into the first lap, but not straight out the gate. Definitely a Zwift thing. And of course, if it's a Zwift thing, you shouldn't have really had a warm-up. You should pile straight into the race start, completely cold. Only joking. I absolutely understand the value of a good warm-up. The science being, actually, that it gets the blood warm, and warm blood holds more oxygen than cold blood. Obviously critical for an aerobic sport like this. Anyway, having had a little warm-up, I'm going to hit the first of the race starts. Dead on 11 minutes. Get the gearing up. Here we go. And of course, I'm not using ERG mode, because in a Zwift race or outdoors, you certainly don't have ERG. You need to have snap and punch. There's the first interval, into 3 minutes recovery. I'll report back towards the 8. These have been okay, therefore I've reduced the rest to 2 minutes between sets. Looking for a good final 8 set here. Any second. Now. I thought I'd have a race ending on that 8th set as well. So time for a quick cool down and hit the shower, then work. Very quick shower. That's a really good workout. Got a whole lot done in about 40 minutes, including the warm down. A lot of time in zone 5, 6 and 7. And definitely it replicates the start of a race. Of course, in most Zwift races, about the first 5 minutes is punchy, high above threshold and not much lower than threshold for me. Oh. Anyway, onwards.